Hey guys, what's going on? DuffKing56 here, back to continue my Let's Play of Yakuza 3 Remastered. Welcome back. We are heading back towards the Bantam. Yesterday we did a couple of sub-stories in the area, including meeting up with our once masseuse from the, well, I should say massage therapist from the massage parlor. So what are we going to do today? We're going to head back to the Bantam, as I said, and we are going to solve a murder and hopefully exonerate somebody who was technically innocent. And after that, I don't know, we'll do some fighting and stuff if we have the time, and there's two other question marks on the map for us to explore. But first, we must talk to the Maeda detective, and that was a perfectly length intro. We are right here at the Bantam. Wait a second. Oh, an email. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, it's Ayaka. Thanks for giving me advice. Afterwards, I told Kentaro-san how I felt. His response? Well, we're dating now. He knew about my past already. Sounds like he overheard when I was talking about it to my manager at the shop. He told me he didn't know how to tell me about how serious he was about me. I'm so glad I got your advice, Kiryu-san. I'll treat you next time you stop by the shop. Well, hell, what a great end to that sub-story. But anyways, on to a new one. Detective Maeda of the Kamurocho Police? What a surprise! If it isn't the fourth chairman of the Tojo clan. You know who I am? Hey, you're famous in this town. So what does the fourth chairman want with me anyway? I want to ask you about the Cafe Alps murder from 6 years ago. Oh, that shitstorm? Yeah, that was my case. Why'd you want to reopen that can of worms now? I'm trying to find out whether Yuichi Akechi really committed that murder or not. What? Are you saying you think he was falsely charged? Not a chance in hell. No? Why not? We aren't stupid, you know. The police don't arrest people without proof. We had plenty of evidence saying Akechi was the murderer. What kind of evidence? We had alibis, witness statements, fingerprints, and a motive. That did it. You've got all that evidence? Could you tell me a little bit more about it? Sure, I guess. Well, don't just stand there. Have a seat. It'd be nice if I didn't have to read through it, but it is what it is. Let's see what to ask. Let's ask about alibis. I'm going to start taking some notes too while we do this, so it might take a little bit. Tell me about the alibis. As part of our initial investigation, we interviewed everyone who may have been involved in the crime. In the end, the only person without one was Akechi. Nobody else could have murdered Oda. Guess we've got two choices. Either we find Yuichi an alibi, or find a flaw of the others. Okay, so we want alibi flaws most likely, and then Akechi alibi. Okay, let's see what to ask. What about witness statements? Tell me about witness statements. Somebody witnessed Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene just after the crime. Okay, so we need to talk to that person. The waiter, I heard about that. Masaru Kinoshita? He gave a statement saying he saw Akechi. So Masaru... If it was me, I'd probably think Yuichi did it too. I wonder how I can refute Kinoshita's statement. Let's see, Kinoshita refute. Ask about the motive. Tell me about the motive. Yuichi Akechi had plenty of motive to kill the victim, Oda. You mean because Oda was sleeping with Yuichi's girlfriend, Sawako Usami? Sorry, I'm trying to read these names quickly. Bingo. We didn't find anybody who might have had a reason to kill Oda. So they didn't find anyone else, huh? So we need witness. But what if someone else did have a reason to kill Oda? So witness statements... We want motive to kill Oda. Oh, we talked about it. We need to find a motive, of course. Other motives. Ask about fingerprints. Tell me about the fingerprints. The deciding factor in Akechi's arrest was his fingerprints. We took and compared fingerprints from each employee with those found on the murder weapon. So we want fingerprints on weapon? Question mark? And they matched Akechi's. We concluded that the other prints came from cafe customers, and so were unrelated. It sounds like pretty conclusive evidence. Was Akechi really the only person involved who had fingerprints on the murder weapon? So there you go. Solid evidence. But if you think we made a mistake, I'd sure like to hear it. Not enough to go on right now. Guess I'd better take a closer look into everything that was going on at the time. Do you know what the Cafe Alps staff from back then are doing nowadays? Sure, I can tell you that much, but I doubt you'll get anything new from them. You wrote the whereabouts of the people related to the case in the notebook. Guess my next step is to go visit the people involved. The florist might know something too. I should go talk to him. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, first thing we're going to do is go to talk to the florist, because it's been a minute. Get some more clues, and then I'll go and check the notebook. There's really no pressure in checking the notebook right away, but I really would like to go and talk to the florist, so we're going to head up north, because that is where the florist lies, in Purgatory, I believe. He's not in the Millennium Tower right now, I don't think, especially because of the accident, question mark? I'm kind of sure. But we'll see. We'll see when we get up there. I wonder exactly what's going on with regards to an alternative motive, or maybe fingerprints on a different murder weapon entirely. Who actually knows? Really, I was kind of hoping that wouldn't happen, but that's okay. Let's deal with this guy as we will. We can actually do the one heat action over. Oh, can we? Nope. I guess we can't. I guess we're dumb. He's actually in position right now, but I ran out of heat, sadly. Oh, almost had him. This guy really thinks he's gonna bring a bike over here? Not today, friend. Not today. There we go. Wait, really? We took down everyone else? That seems a bit odd. But okay, I mean, I'll certainly take the reward for the fight. Man, back-to-back 20,000s, the last two fights, that is nothing to scoff at. So let's head over to Purgatory. Not in the mood for no gambling, not in the mood for no running. Who's this guy again? Hey! Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, no, we have nothing else to do here than go straight to find our boy. Also, what does this guy want to talk to us about again? Come by anytime you like. Okay, whatever. Whatever, man. Repeating dialogue. Be damned, we're going to head down into the underbelly of Kamurocho. But that's a good thing. We want to do that. And of course the Colosseum's down here, but I'm not really too interested in fighting that out right now. That could be a whole separate episode in its entirety. Sorry, I got caught on the wall there. I was itching my nose, so I couldn't see nothing in front of me. But hey, this should be the florist, so we should be getting a clue here. Hopefully. Hopefully. I should ask the florist about the Alps murder. Hey, Kiryu. I hear you're looking into that Cafe Alps murder. Huh? How'd you hear about that? Don't underestimate my information network. I know everything that goes on in this town. I guess you do. So, do you know anything about the murder? I have the police reports in my database. What do you want to know? Let's ask about the murder weapon. Tell me about the murder weapon. The same type of ashtray was found all over the cafe, but there was one significant difference between those and the murder weapon. Oh yeah? What was that? The weaponized ashtray had a chipped edge. Interesting. Do you know how that happened? The day of the murder, a customer knocked the ashtray off the table onto the floor, chipping it. Akechi noticed it while he was cleaning up at closing time and decided to bring it out to the dumpster to throw it away. That's when he passed by the locker room and saw his girlfriend cheating. So there's no doubt Akechi touched the murder weapon that day. Nope. Normally, the ashtray would have been washed and all the fingerprints would have disappeared. But Akechi noticed that that particular ashtray had been chipped, so instead of washing it, he decided to throw it out. And by that twist of fate, everyone who touched it that day still had their prints all over it. So all the fingerprints on the murder weapon were made the day of the murder, huh? You got the florist's testimony. I have the police reports in my database. What would you want to know? Tell me about the fingerprints on the ashtray. Oh, Jesus. These are all the prints taken from the ashtray. The prints outlined in red match Akechi's. This is apparently evidence that led directly to the arrest. What about the other fingerprints? Well, one thing's for sure. None of them match the prints of any of the other employees at Cafe Alps at the time. They're thought to be from customers who visited the cafe that day, probably 2 or 3 people. Then one of these sets of prints might be from the real murderer? It's certainly possible. So the real murderer's prints could be on the ashtray, huh? You got the ashtray fingerprints. You should be able to get more information from the people related to the case. If you haven't talked to all of them yet, you better do that. Thanks, you've been a big help. I owe you one. So that's actually something that I was going to mention before I came down here, because I wanted to try to get ahead of the game. Because the detective mentioned that like a bunch of other people touched the ashtray, we have to consider the possibility that somebody that touched the ashtray was a civilian, or I should say a patron, yet not involved as an employee, but still wanted to kill her. So the alternative motive could be somebody went to the Cafe Alps that day to kill her. They just didn't work at the cafe. So we have to prove that motive, and by that we have to go through the notebook, find other people, talk to them, and see what's going on. My guess, maybe it's a stalker, maybe it's a, well, probably not a family member, because I feel like those fingerprints would have been like identified or taken maybe through the case. I don't know. Either way, there's definitely something more to this. So let's go through the notebook now that we have a bunch of new stuff here. Let's start with Akechi. Can we talk to him? He's now serving his sentence. Most likely we can. And he's probably just going to give us the same story. Nozomi, we know her. That's who got us into the sub-story. This person's dead, so we can't talk to them. So Sawako Osami is at Makbul. Kinoshita's at Cafe Alps. There's, okay, so Nakamichi. Popo is Asai. And then we have Usami's at Makbul. Usami. And then Imagawa is at the Theater Square. Sega. Imagawa. You might be asking, AJ, why are you writing these things down? Do you really need to do this? Let me tell you, I really need to write things down, or else I just... Oh, Jesus. Hello? Kazuma? It's me, Joji. What's up, Joji? I'm just about back in Tokyo. Where are you now? Getting in a cab. I'm going to the hospital to finally put an end to this madness. Good. But listen, Cosmo, there's something I need to tell you before you go. What's that? I just had headquarters issue an order to all active agents in the Tokyo metropolitan area. The CIA will have your back every step of the way. Huh. Guess that explains why an agent walked up to me not too long ago. There's one team we haven't been able to get in touch with, though. Remember? The CIA's goal here is apprehending Richardson. I'm not sure why we can't reach that team, but if you run into them, it's likely they'll see you as a mere obstacle in their path. Huh. Worst comes to worst, you may even have to fight them. Just watch your back, Kazuma. Thanks, Joji. I will. Please don't start me on the story, please. Guess I'll need to watch out for more than just Mine's men. Sir? Excuse me, sir? Are you getting in or not? Huh? Oh yeah, sorry. The minimum fare is 710 yen. Where do we want to go? We don't want to go to these two things ever. So, the Mock Bowl's close to here. The Nakamichi Street Popo is over there, but there's a sub-story, so maybe we should start West Shichifuku, and we can work our way southward from there. I was so nervous we were going to get roped into the last bit of, unable to return from this point sub-story, or main story, I mean. That would have been pretty bad, right? So, let's head to Mockbull first, and then we'll go to the Theater Square Sega Club. I think that's a pretty solid bet. Or, actually, you know what? This is technically closer, so let's go here. I know I'm just whipping the camera around everywhere, and I apologize for that. But, we must find an alternative motive, or something. Just give me something, right? So, Imagawa should be working here. We can go talk to him, potentially. You're Imagawa, right? That's right. Who are you? I'm looking into the Cafe Alps murder from 6 years ago. What? Let's see. What to ask? Let's ask for their alibi. They say you weren't at the cafe the day of the murder. Is that true? Yes. I spent the whole day at home. Alone? No. Some friends came over and we played video games. And these friends corroborated your alibi? That's right. So it wasn't me. Let's see. What to ask? How about the witness statements? Do you know anything about the man seen fleeing the scene? No, I didn't see anything. I didn't say anything. I didn't hear anything. Well, that seems really weird. What about the motive? Can you think of anybody who'd want to kill Oda? I don't know anything. Don't ask me. This guy is not helpful at all. How about the fingerprints? Your prints weren't found on the murder weapon, were they? Next, you're going to start saying I wore gloves. Well, you're wrong. I wasn't anywhere near the cafe that day. Guess it stands to reason your prints wouldn't be on it. Let's see. Let's stop asking questions, because this guy's useless. I don't know anything about the murder. Just leave me alone. Man, this guy's got a persecution complex. Let me know if you remember anything from around the time of the murder. Doesn't matter how small. I didn't do anything. Honest, you have to believe me. Everyone's saying I'm the murderer, aren't they? Aren't they? No, nobody's saying anything about you. I don't believe you. Everyone hated me at that cafe. They used to harass me. Harassed you how? Someone even stole my wallet, CDs, and uniform out of my locker on the day of the murder. Are you sure the police didn't pick them up as evidence? Absolutely sure. Someone was harassing me, I tell you. So somebody stole Imagawa's things, huh? Interesting. Okay, well, that was actually a little bit more helpful than I thought it was going to be on first glance. So we can finally leave here and figure out everything else. So, to the mock bowl it is. Actually, yeah, to the mock bowl it is. Wasn't there 4 people that we needed to talk to? Oh well, we're probably going to get into a fight here. As I was going to say, this one is a little bit unavoidable. But the mock bowl is right around the corner here, so we can go and chat with Usami. Oh, of course, the waiter at Cafe Alps. That'll be our last stop. So I feel like that'll be it, right? Alright, this Terada guy is donezo. I want to do the heat action where this guy runs after me and I can kill him. Never mind, he's just going to be a piece of shit. Thanks, Miyazawa. I really appreciate that. You know, I could have grabbed him if I wanted to, but I don't know, I just didn't feel like it. I wanted to see if I could just hit him while he's on the ground. Let's get this out of our inventory, we don't need it. To the mock bowl! Although, I don't know. I kind of suck at bowling. I kind of want to bowl, but maybe I shouldn't. Usami should be all the way over here. So let's talk to her. Are these lockers, or, oh, there's just like shoe rentals? Interesting. Are you Sawako Usami? Yes, what do you want? I'm looking into the murder that happened in Cafe Alps 6 years ago. There's nothing left to say. Yuichi Akechi might not have killed Oda. If we're gonna find out the truth, I need to hear your account of what happened that day. Let's see, what to ask. Alibi time. You were there when Akechi confronted Oda, weren't you? Yeah, I mean, I was the reason they fought, so of course I was there. What happened after that? Did you see Akechi kill Oda? I took off, so don't ask me. Took off? What do you mean? Do you have any idea what it feels like to have your significant other walk in on you when you're with someone else? Talk about awkward. And it would have been even more awkward if other people started coming in to see what the fuss was all about. So I ran out the back door. What'd you do after you left the cafe? I went home, but Yuichi followed me. We spent the night arguing about breaking up. Of course, I never imagined he'd already killed Ona-san. So you're saying you didn't see Akechi kill Oda? That's right, and I told the police that too. So nobody actually saw Akechi kill Oda, huh? That's good testimony. Let's see, what to ask. Witness statements. Tell me about the person seen fleeing the scene. I don't know anything about that. I left the cafe before Yuichi did, so I don't know how he left. Right, okay. Let's see. Motive time. Any idea why someone would kill Oda? Are you trying to be funny? No, I mean, besides your relationship with Oda. Did he do anything to make anyone else mad? I don't know. The police would have known if he had any loans out or anything like that, right? I wasn't particularly close to him, really. We just ended up hooking up that night. I see. Maybe Akechi really did kill Oda after seeing him with Usami. What else to add? The fingerprints are the only thing left. They didn't find your fingerprints on the murder weapon, did they? Right, they only found Yuichi's. We constantly replaced the customers' ashtrays with clean ones, but Yuichi must have been the only one to touch that one. I guess he was just unlucky. Yuichi took good care of the customers and replaced their ashtrays often. I think he must have noticed that one was chipped. Let's see, what to ask. She actually knew that was chipped. Interesting. Are we through here? I'm supposed to be working. Right. Sorry. Thanks for the help. So we have a potential alibi there. I don't know. Nobody saw them get killed, which definitely means that somebody else could have done it. No eyewitness testimony, right? No one saw. Okay. Let's head to the... Should we head to Cafe Alps? I feel like that would have been a good last stop, but maybe the Popo would be a better last stop because we're working from north to south. So it wouldn't be too bad of an idea to just hit up the Alps on our way down since that's part of our central run anyways. From north to south? I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Either way, we'll figure it all out. It's pretty simple to just talk. And all these people aren't really putting up much of a fight. I mean, the other guy was putting up a fight answering questions, but he still gave us what we wanted, right? What the hell was that? Oh. Okay. I didn't realize that that coffee bar would be there when we have the Alps down here. But either way, we'll head to the Alps and get some more information. So, should be right here. I feel really bad for his sister, man. I want to talk to this guy, I think. You're Kinoshita-san, right? That's right. Who are you? Kazuma Kiryu. I want to ask you about the murder that happened at this cafe 6 years ago. Ah, that. Well, I don't know if I can tell you anything new, but go ahead. So let's start with the alibi. Where were you and what were you doing when Oda was killed? I was here in the customer area cleaning up. I believe you can see me on the security camera tapes. I wasn't in the locker room when the murder took place. How about witness statements? They say you saw Yuichi Akechi fleeing the scene on the night of the crime. Tell me more about that. Yes, I saw him. That night, Akechi-kun disappeared right in the middle of the cleanup. I waited a while, and well, he still didn't come back and went to check on him. That's when I saw him leaving through the back door of the cafe. Are you sure it was Akechi? Well, I only saw his back, but I'm sure it was him. If you didn't see his face, then how could you be so sure it was Akechi? The man I saw leave through the back door was wearing our cafe's waiter's uniform. Aside from Oda-san, there was only 3 other male employees working that night. Akechi-kun, a guy called Asai-kun, which we talked to, and him. You could see Asai-kun spending the night closing the register on the security tapes. The only person I could have seen would have been Akechi-kun. I see. After that, I called the police and waited at the back door until they showed up. No one tried to enter or leave during that time. So Kinoshita didn't see the criminal's face. Very interesting. Let's talk about motive. Did Oda have any enemies? Well, I'm not sure. I didn't really talk to him much outside of work. Okay, useless, and fingerprints. Were your prints on the murder weapon? No, they weren't. I keep thinking that if I had touched that ashtray that day, I would have been blamed for the murder. Interesting that he says it like that, right? It makes it sound like even he's not sure. Sorry I couldn't be more help. Thanks for your time. Are you a detective, Kiryu-san? Not exactly. Why do you ask? No reason. I was just wondering why anyone would be looking into that case now. I'm trying to help a friend find out if Yuichi Akechi is innocent. Innocent? You think someone else could have been the murderer? It's possible. I see. I would feel terrible for Akechi-kun if he really was innocent all this time. I can't imagine what it's like to be in prison for a crime I didn't commit, especially for 6 years. That'd be horrible. That's why we're trying to find out the truth. If you think of anything else, let me know. Okay, I will. Alright, that was actually pretty fruitful as well. So we know that whoever did this murder, if it wasn't Yuichi Akechi, stole the uniform from Asai and put it on, made the murder, ran away. So we'll see what the last person tells us. We just have to head down to the Popo, which is right over here, and see what's up. And thankfully we don't have to get caught up by Date, which is nice. So we talk to the final person, most likely. Welcome. Wait, is he not here? Did I pick the wrong Popo? Is this not Nakamichi Street? Is there another Popo I'm not thinking of? Nakamichi Street Popo. Oh, hey, what do you think you're doing? You think you can just waltz on out of here with that? What? I mean, shoplifting. At your age, you should be ashamed of yourself. I think you're making a mistake. I haven't taken anything at all. Yeah, that's what they all say. Why don't you just save both of us the trouble and hand over the goods? The fuck is this guy talking about? Well, still think I'm a shoplifter? No, I don't. Sorry to have to put you through all that. One of the part-timers must have made a mistake. Regardless, that's no excuse to be embarrassing a valuable customer. Here, please accept this along with our sincerest apologies. Don't be so quick to judge next time. I'll try, sir, but you must understand that shoplifting has been absolutely out of control lately. Even with our high-tech security cameras, the thieves are still getting away. Sometimes it's makeup, other times it's the latest toy or gadget. They're practically robbing us blind, and I simply refuse to tolerate it any further. Sounds like you've got it pretty rough. I really hate to ask this, especially after what just happened, but would you mind catching some of these morons on our behalf? Huh? Why would you ask me? Well, those hooligans are already familiar with my staff and security, but if a stranger like you were to do a stakeout, they'd never suspect a thing. Now please, you've got to help us somehow. I'd be willing to give you compensation, of course. You could earn part-time wages just standing around. So you want me to do undercover security? Sure. Whatever. I could do that, as long as it's just staking out the area. If anything, I'm cut out for this type of job. Oh, you're really serious? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Come on inside and I'll fill you in on the details. What the fuck is going on? This aisle gets hit pretty often. What with all that magazines, makeup, and other expensive items. Really? Even though it's out in the open like this? Well, at this angle, it's hard to see from the registers. Plus, makeup is so small that it's easy to steal no matter where it is. Guess it's popular to sell to friends and such. People really do that? Sheesh, what is this world coming to? Anyway, I need you to keep watch right here, and if you see anyone suspicious, confront them before they leave the store. Think you can do that? Yeah, if I see someone trying to pull something, I'll get all up in their face, no problem. That's what I'm talking about. There's a lot of shoplifting at around this time of day, so I'm sure you'll find someone if you watch closely enough. Now get to those bastards. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I'll let you know when your time's up. Good luck. Okay, so there's 3 customers in here. A young girl looking at makeup, a young guy looking at manga, and a businessman looking at bento boxes. One of these people could very well be a shoplifter. I'm assuming it's the bento box guy, right? Convenience stores do sell pretty decent makeup after all. How wonderful. Oh, she just put something in her pocket. Hey, she's on her way out. What should I do? We're stopping her, 100%. Hold it right there, missy. I don't believe you paid for that. What? You think I look like a shoplifter or something? I bet you just want to feel me up, you disgusting creep. I'd rather feel up the merchandise you took. Now let's see it. Jesus Christ, Kiryu. So, did you find whatever I shoplifted? No, looks like I made a mistake. I'm very sorry to have bothered you. Get a life, you perv. Jeez. Guess I blew that one. Fuck it, we'll just stop everyone, I don't care. Sweet, they got a new issue I've been looking for. I love the song in the background here. We're just gonna stop everyone, I really don't care. It seems like it's not a big deal. He's on his way out, what should I do? Stop him. Hold it right there, Buster. I don't believe you paid for that. What? Empty out your pockets. Let's see what you got. Oh shit. Uh-huh, what's this? I haven't seen you pay for that yet. I was just gonna take it to the register. Yeah. Ah, we got one. Tell me about it in the office, or you could tell that to the police if you prefer. Well, fuck. Bingo. Looks like we caught him red-handed. Say, would you mind keeping watch a little longer, you know, in case anyone else manages to slip through the cracks while I'm occupied? Sure. There's this last guy. Alright, I'll stay at my post for a little longer. You know we're stopping the businessman, 100%. I'm so sick of these bento lunches. Oh yeah, he's swiping. He's swiping. We're gonna catch his ass too. Don't you worry about that. We're gonna catch his ass. He's on his way out. What should I do? Well, fucking stop him. Hold it right there, mister. I don't believe you paid for that. Excuse me? I don't have anything on me. You wouldn't be trying to shoplift anything, would you? What a rude accusation. I've been buying lunches here for a while now, but maybe I'll take my business elsewhere. Fine, but before that, cough up what you took. All of it. There, are you satisfied? No, it looks like I made a mistake. I'm very sorry to have bothered you. I might not make much, but at least I'm not a thief. How about treating me with some respect? Guess I blew that one. I don't think so. I really appreciate all the help you've given me. I can't believe you found a criminal in such a short time. You've been a great help. Guess I have a knack for finding people like that. But you also accused someone else of shoplifting even though they didn't take anything at all. I'd rather not make our honest paying customers feel uncomfortable, you know? Sorry about that. In any case, here's your day's pay. 1,000 yen? What a joke. I'll take the experience points though, because once again, it's like, you know, it's free money, right? So let's go and see. Oh, that's the Showa Street Popo. Where's the Popo? Oh my god, it's up here? I thought this was Nakamichi Street. Why? Okay, I was deceived. I'm an idiot. But you know what? We did a sub-story at the same time, so I guess it's not a bad deal. We will get our final stuff from this last Popo. It'll just be a matter of... Oh, fuck. I don't want to get into a fight right now. Not because I can't handle it, but because it's just not worth fighting him right now. You know what I mean? So, we'll stop at this Popo over here. Fuck, we're gonna get into a fight no matter what. Oh well. I'll give my voice a little rest. I've been reading non-stop these past 2 episodes, which is fine. But I'm going to be in the mood for some fighting in the next couple episodes after that, so there's plenty of stuff for us to take care of there, including the Reapers sub-stories for the HLA. We're going to have 7 Reapers to kill and a shit ton of money to make. So I'm very excited for that. Perfect. Very excited to get some more experience points to fully level. Or at least do my best to fully level, you know? Alright, so our final stop for the substory for the information gathering part will be this Popo, right? So let's... Sorry, sir. I'm actually doing my rounds here because I'm curious about any locker keys in these aisles. As you can see, there are none that I could see, that is. We'll just go down this aisle here. And then we'll finish up in this aisle over here. Because we just couldn't get it all. Okay, so let's go and talk to this dude over here. Are you Asai? Former employee of Cafe Alps? Yeah, who are you? Kazuma Kiryu. I want to ask you about the murder that happened at Cafe Alps 6 years ago. Oh, that. So what do you want to know? Let's see, what to ask. Alibi. You were at the cafe at the time of the murder, weren't you? Yeah, I think I was closing the register. It was after we closed for the night. So you didn't go anywhere near the murder scene? The locker room? Of course not. I mean, why would I? I was still working, wasn't I? What? He's acting kind of funny. Let's see, what to ask. Do you know anything about the person seen running from the scene of the crime? No, I don't know anything. I only found out a murder had taken place when Kinoshita-san showed up after looking as white as a sheet. I didn't see the murder at all. I see. Oh, but I did see Oda-san's body. Ugh, I can still see it. Ugh. So Sai went into the locker room after the murderer escaped, huh? Let's see, what to ask. Motive! Do you know anyone with a motive to kill Oda? Well, you reap what you sow. I mean, it was bad enough he was always messing around at the workplace, but going after another employee's woman? Get a grip. You make it sound like he'd slept with other women at the cafe before. Yeah, I saw him hook up with another woman there once. Another woman? Got a name for her? Yeah, I think her last name was Saito. I guess she was dating Oda-san at the time of the murder. I don't see anyone named Saito listed among the people related to the case. She already quit the cafe by that time. I heard she still hung around Oda-san, though. So Oda was dating somebody at the time. You got Asai's testimony. What to ask? I think fingerprints was the last thing. Your fingerprints weren't found on the murder weapon. Isn't that strange, seeing as you were one of the waiters? I just didn't like doing the ashtrays. I always left that to other people. So it's pretty natural my fingerprints wouldn't be on it, I guess. I see. Well, that was very good. This job's pretty boring, so thanks for helping me kill some time. You can ask me more whenever you want. I see. By the way, do you remember Imagawa? Imagawa? Sounds familiar. Your coworker from Cafe Alps. Oh, Mr. Gloomy? Yeah, I remember him now. Imagawa says he had things stolen from his locker. You know anything about that, Asai? What? You think I had something to do with it? No. I'm just trying to find out what you know. But you really think I did it, though, don't you? Okay, you got me. I did do it. What? I was just trying to make a quick buck or two. All I took was a wallet and some CDs I sold off later. Anything else? Huh? Like what? You didn't steal Imagawa's uniform? Uniform? How would I make any money off that? All I stole was his wallet and CDs, that's all. So that's all Asai took, huh? Maybe the police really did take the uniform. Alright, we got 2 bits of testimony from him. That was very, very helpful. So now we can head back to Maeda up at the Bantam and see what we can do about solving this case. I've talked to everyone related to the case, but it doesn't look like it's going to be easy to prove Yuichi Akechi's innocence. I should meet up with Wakazo at Cafe Alps. So, we must go back to the Cafe Alps, eh? That's okay, though. It's, things are progressing actually really nicely, so it makes me very excited to get back going and seeing what we could potentially do to finish getting the information for all of this stuff. Funny seeing you here. What's up? I'm taking one of my clients out on the town. We were in the area, so I thought I'd drop in and see you. Taking your client out on the town? Don't you mean you're going to one of those host clubs? My client just happens to like host clubs, really. It's just a coincidence. Speaking of which, isn't your perfume a bit strong tonight? Oh, really? I didn't think so, but... Oh, look at the time. Okay, I've got to go. That Yuko. Who was that woman talking to Kinoshita? That's Kinoshita-san's wife, Yuko-san. Kinoshita's wife? How do you know that? She actually used to work here. That's how I know her. She worked here? Is that so? That's right. She'd already quit by the time the murder happened, though, and she wasn't on the security tapes of the dining area, so she definitely wasn't at the cafe that day. I see. It doesn't sound like Kinoshida's wife, Yuko, is involved in the case, but maybe I should look into her anyway. You got Wakazo's testimony. Man, we have another twist in the story. Let's actually order something really quick, right? Because we have some health to heal. Might as well. Who doesn't want a little bit of food to top their selves off? You know what I mean? Anyways, so we should go and see where she works. Well, maybe not works, but she's going to one of the hostess clubs. So let's see if she shows up in the notebook, like if we updated it. I don't see Yuko. Oh, there she is. She often visits host clubs. Okay, so we have to go to a host club, right? That's basically where we're at right now. So let's go and see... Oopsies. Which host club should we head to? There's a couple here. There's Club Shine and Club Asia. So we can just head a little bit north and then way, way east. And then we can hopefully see what's going on with Yuko. Did she steal a uniform? Give it to somebody? I don't know. All we know is she sounds like she's kind of a flirt. So that might be significant. It might not be. We just don't know. We just don't know. So let's start down here. See if we can find her. Welcome. Will you be visiting our club today? Nope. We're gonna look for her though. Maybe she's in the surrounding area. We could talk to this host dude and see what he has to say too. Hey there. No. We're not doing that right now. Is this not Club Asia? I guess it is. Club Shine, Club Asia. Oh, there's Club Jewel too. Okay, we could try Club Jewel. I completely forgot about that club, but that's fine. She's probably going to be there then, of all the places. But that's not going to be terrible to run to. It's just going to be a matter of, well, running there, you know? The question is going to be, how does it all tie together, though? That guy that we just talked to, Asai, he steals, but he never stole the uniform. She seems like a flirt. Maybe she seduced Takechi and then killed Oda because she wanted to keep him all to herself. I don't fucking know. Let's see if we can find her, though. Welcome, sir. Will you be enjoying the club today? I mean, you know, maybe I should just try entering and seeing what happens. Who should we assign you to? On second thought, no thanks. Okay. Well, she's not here, question mark? What was her name again? Hold on, let's check her name again. Her name is Yuko, right? Okay. Often visits host club. Oh wait, no, she's... I'm going to hostess clubs. She's going to a host club. She's probably at the Stardust. Why was I thinking anything different? That is really silly of me. I don't know why I made that mental mistake, and my apologies for wasting your time. But, you know, we got some good discussion about the case. At this point, though, I'm not really sure how it all, like, boils down, you know? Because it just doesn't seem connecting too much right now. All I know is that Yuko is way more involved than she once was. So, maybe Yuya is going to be able to get some information out of her. That'd be kind of awesome, actually. I'd be like, oh, I always knew you were useful for something, Yuya. And I say that tongue-in-cheek because Yuya is absolutely the best ever. My god, dude. There we go. Jesus. Alright. Can you give me this to hit this guy with? Perfect. Beautiful. Alright, that was pretty simple combat. We'll head right over to the Stardust. A lot of these eerie stuffed toys, they're very, very weird item. Like, are they just sellable? I don't really know. I don't really think too much about them, though. All I know is that our clue is going to be over here, and it's not these two talking about HIPAA shit, so Let's head into the Stardust. She has to be here, right? Let's see. Is that? That looks like Kinoshita's wife, Yuko. Oh, Kiryu-san, what brings you here? Yuya, what can you tell me about that woman over there? Who? You mean Yuko-san? She's been a regular customer of ours for years. What do you want with her? She looks awfully rich for somebody so young. She manages a venture-funded startup. Her company got popular making products targeted at young women, and it's been growing pretty fast over the last 4 or 5 years. Is that so? Oh, Yuya, who's that? I haven't seen him here before. Is he a new host? Ah, Yuko-san. This is Kiryu-san. We owe a lot to this man here, and no, he's not a host. Oh, I see. Well, that's unfortunate. This is my company, by the way. If you ever need anything, just give me a call. Do you mean myself? Sure. You got Yuko's business card. Bye now. Tonight was fantastic. We'll be looking forward to seeing you again. Damn. Should be interesting. We're probably going to give her a phone call. I've collected all the information I can right now. I should go back to see Detective Maeda. I guess so. Why can't we just give her a phone call, right? I don't know. Either way, that Barker was following me around. That was kind of weird. It's always fun to see the little bits of environmental interaction you get as you go. But we'll see what Maeda... I mean, he's... I don't say that he's incompetent, like he's an incompetent detective. All I know... Damn it. All I know is that I feel like this will be like the final push to get things all in order. But he might actually get activated when we present him all the evidence saying like, hey, there's more to this, you know? Alright, here we go. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. I was worried about that guy potentially throwing me away. I guess he isn't that big. He looked like a big brute type. Man, we got juggled up there a little bit, eh? This guy's fucked though, so it's fine. I like how that smash double hits. It makes me very happy. Beautiful. You gonna attack me, buddy? Come on. Oh, come on. I definitely hit the Y button. You know what? Fuck you. I'll take those experience points. Victory grasped from the jaw of getting punched one in the face. Oh, come on. Another one? Alright, we're done here. We're going straight to the Bantam. No questions asked. No fights taken. No punches thrown. And if we do get into a fight, no hits taken. How about that? We'll go with, you know, that's better, right? Alright, let's talk to Maeda here. Nope. I still don't see anything off about any of this. Do you have a minute? Oh, it's you. So, did you find proof of Akechi's innocence yet? What was that you were looking at? Oh, this? This is the list of evidence we made during the investigation 6 years ago. You're taking such a hard look at this case, I thought I'd better take another glance myself. Can I see that? I guess, but you won't find anything wrong with any of it. I honestly can't figure out why you think Akechi's innocent. You got a list of evidence. Wait a minute, what's this? What's what? I finally got it. Was it really this simple all along? No mistake about it. Somebody framed Akechi. What? Are you serious? Yeah, I'll explain everything, but first, I need you to round up everybody related to the case. But it'll turn out fine. You'll see. Okay, just don't blame me if it doesn't. I'll get everybody together at Cafe Alps. That ought to work, right? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, Detective Kiryu. I've got all the evidence I need. It's time to reveal what really happened 6 years ago. It's also really weird to see Dart's explanation in the background. Is there anything we need to drink here still? Oh my god, there's still like a trillion things we need to drink here. That is pretty wild, honestly. Let's just drink all the expensive booze. We're just gonna skip through this. Will it heal me? It almost healed me to full. We'll take it. More expensive booze! Let's do another 5K here. Yeah! Let's get crunk. Suntory Whiskey Hibiki, man. That's that good shit. Come on, finish him up, finish him up. Ah! Alright, we'll drink one more thing, because we'll be allowed to, right? No, we had too much to drink! Ugh, very unfortunate. Well, we're definitely in no state to play darts, you know? So, let's head back, finish up the case. So, Kiryu saw it all when he saw the evidence list. I have no clue. Maybe it'll show us here. Let's see. It's so weird to see all this stuff here, right? Like, weird. Okay, we want evidence list. Yakuza's testimony. Got a bunch of testimonies here. Evidence list. Well, nothing. It would be kind of cool for us to read through it and try to come to the conclusion ourselves before we officially have to repeat it back and solve the case, but that's fine. It'll be really nice to have done this sub-story though, and bring someone who is falsely accused, potentially out of prison, and somebody else who is due for justice to justice, you know? Kiryu is just like that, so let's figure it out. Well, I did as you asked, Detective. I closed the cafe and kicked everyone out. Now, what's this all about? Kiryu-san and his friend here would like to talk to all of you. I have you here for one reason, and one reason alone. I'm sure you all remember the murder that took place here 6 years ago. The victim was Kazuo Oda-san, the manager of this cafe at the time. One of the employees, Yuichi Ikeda-san, was arrested for his murder. But did Akechi-san really kill Oda-san? I'd like to ask each of you to think back on that day. Do any of you have any evidence? Any truly conclusive evidence that Akechi-san was really the one who killed Oda-san? I've been struggling with one question since the day of that murder. Could Akechi-san actually be innocent? But before I could find out for sure, an article I wrote implicating Akechi-san as the murderer got published. But thanks to Kiryu-san here, we finally arrived at the truth of what happened 6 years ago. But if Akechi-kun is innocent, that means someone else is guilty. Exactly. But what do you base all of this on, Kiryu-san? I need to show them proof of Yuichi Akechi's innocence. What should I give? Let's start with all this testimony. Usami was the one who saw Akechi and Oda fight the day of the murder, isn't that right? Yeah, but I left in the middle of it. In other words, she didn't actually see Akechi-san kill Oda-san. Exactly, and only Usami saw Oda and Akechi fighting. So we can't conclude Yuichi Akechi killed Oda, which means the charges against him could be false. Sorry, but that doesn't hold water. What do you mean? Akechi's prints were on the weapon used to kill Oda. That's solid evidence to prove Akechi did it. Is that all you have to say? Huh? What do you mean? This was your case. You ought to know Akechi's fingerprints on the murder weapon alone weren't enough to convict him. I don't follow you. Spell it out for us, will you? Alright, what should we give next? Should we give the ashtray fingerprints? Because that's what we're responding to. The ashtray used as the murder weapon hadn't been washed because it was supposed to be thrown out. Akechi's prints weren't the only ones on it. That means you can't prove his guilt from the fingerprints alone. Detective, is that true? Yes, it's just as he says. So you admit it might not have been my brother? But that's still not enough to prove somebody else did it. Somebody witnessed Akechi fleeing the scene. That's another piece of solid evidence. Think about it. You'd think the person actively fleeing the scene of the crime is the culprit, wouldn't you? Why'd they run away if they didn't do anything? What do you have to say about that? Kiryu-san, do you have any information to refute the witness statements about Akechi-san? Let's see. Okay. Someone's at the scene but failed to witness Akechi murder Oda. Kinoshita, there we go. Kinoshita, you saw Akechi fleeing the scene, right? Yes, I did. Are you sure? I'm not lying. I'm sure I saw him. But you didn't see the face of the person fleeing the scene. You said that, right? Yeah, I only saw his back. So then it's possible you saw somebody else. Is that all you got? The police wouldn't have arrested Akechi on just any old vague evidence, you know? There's also something that proved the person Kinoshita-san saw was, in fact, Akechi. What was that? The man Kinoshita-san saw leaving the scene of the crime was wearing Cafe Alps waiter's uniform. The only waiters employed by the Cafe Alps at the time are Kinoshita-san, Asahi-san, Imagawa-san, and Akechi-san. The security tapes show Kinoshita-san and Asahi-san out front at the time of the murder. We've also confirmed that Imagawa-san was at home. Therefore, by process of elimination, the only waiter Kinoshita-san could have seen was Akechi. Kiryu-san, is that true? No, it's absolutely possible that the person Kinoshita-san saw was not Akechi. I have a statement to prove it. Well then, why don't you share this statement with us? We're gonna give Imagawa's testimony. There was actually another crime committed at this cafe the day of the murder 6 years ago. Another crime? That's the first I've heard of it. Imagawa's uniform disappeared from his locker in the Cafe Alps locker room on that day. Imagawa-kun's uniform? Yes, my uniform disappeared from my locker. Since you weren't present the day of the murder, when did you notice it was missing? The day after Oda-san was murdered, I came to work. The police were investigating, so I couldn't go in. But once the police left, I looked in my locker and saw that my uniform was gone. Come on, the police probably took it in as evidence. I'm sure there was plenty of stuff missing from the crime scene. You're wrong, someone was definitely harassing me. Everyone teased me. Asai-kun, why don't you tell them you took my uniform? You took everything else. The uniform must have been you, too. You're so whiny. Bully, police, whoever took it has nothing to do with Akechi or this case. No, Imagawa's uniform is the key to this case. Huh? What do you mean? I'll show you right now. I can show them 2 pieces of evidence that prove what happened to Imagawa's uniform. We give Asai's testimony too, right? Yeah. And the other piece of evidence is... let's see. We gave that one already. Let's give the list of evidence. Look at the list of evidence I borrowed from you. There's no waiter's uniform on it. Let's see, you're right. I don't see any waiter's uniform listed. In other words, the uniform disappeared before the police showed up. If the police didn't confiscate it, who could have taken it? It was Asai-kun, right? No, not Asai. He did steal things from you, true, but he wasn't doing it to harass you. He was just after some cash. Your wallet and CDs make sense, but your uniform wouldn't have been worth anything. Well then, who did it? Oh, you mean the murderer took it? Exactly. The criminal wanted to make it look like somebody else committed the crime, so they stole the waiter's uniform and changed into it. Then, as soon as somebody came by, they hid their face and ran out the back exit. Is that true? So you're saying the person who stole Imagawa's uniform and fled the scene is the real criminal? Yeah. And who might that be? I don't know. Was it Yuko? The real criminal is... Wait, I don't actually know. Yuko wasn't here. Yuko wasn't at the Alps. Why would Maeda do it? Why would his sister do it? Kinoshita wasn't... I'm confused now. Like, I'm actually confused. Should we accuse Yuko? She could have done it. The sister? Why would the sister have done it? Fuck it. Yes. The only person it could have been.
Kiryu-san. それではその人物の名前を教えてください。6年前、小田さんを殺し、明智さんに罪をかぶせた事件の真犯人とは一体？犯人はお前だ。木下優子、お前が小田を殺した真犯人だ。
Yuko killed Oda-san? An interesting theory, but why would I kill Oda-san? I didn't have any reason to do anything like that. Yeah, Yuichi Akechi's motive was Usami-san's relationship with Oda-san. Exactly how are Yuko-san and Oda-san connected? I need something to prove Yuko and Oda knew each other somehow. What should I give? Yuka and Oda. Shit. Let's see. Oda was dating someone at the time. There we go. Oda was dating somebody at the time of the murder. Somebody who used to work as a waitress at Cafe Alps. What? Is that true? Yeah, and her last name was Saito. Saito? That's Yuko's maiden name. I hear you worked at this cafe up until just before the time of the murder. Yuko-san and Oda-san were dating? I didn't know that. Yuko-san, is that true? I don't have to answer that. Yuko. If Oda-san was dating Yuko-san, then Usami-san wasn't the only one cheating. Oda was cheating too. And that means Yuko-san also had a motive to kill Oda-san. So anyone with a motive is a killer? You haven't done anything but hypothesize. Exactly. You've only talked about possibilities. Do you have any conclusive evidence that she murdered him? Conclusive evidence? Like fingerprints? If I only had something with Yuko's fingerprints on it. This is the evidence. Is that my business card? This business card has your fingerprints on it. We should be able to compare the prints on this card to the ones on the murder weapon. Give me that business card. Let's check it out right now. We finished analyzing the prints on the card. These are Yuko Kinoshita's fingerprints. And these are the prints on the ashtray. Yeah, I actually saw that with my eyeballs, so that made me happy. The prints on Yuko-san's business card are the same as the ones on the murder weapon. I don't believe it. How do you explain that? Even if my prints are on that ashtray, so what? How does that change anything? What do you mean? I ate at Alps the day of the murder. I must have just touched the ashtray while I was there. She's right. There's no crime in touching an ashtray. She was just a customer. No, Yuko's lying. I should call her out on it. She wasn't here. No, you're lying. What the hell are you talking about? There's no record of you coming to the cafe on the day of the murder. Right, Detective Maeda? He's right. We had Cafe Alps employees watch all the security tapes, and they gave statements that no other cafe employees, former or otherwise, visited the cafe that day. Right, Kinoshita-san? That's right. I'd seen Yuko-san's face before, so I would have noticed if she was on those tapes. She definitely wasn't. Which means you didn't come to Cafe Alps on the day of the murder as a customer. So why were your fingerprints on the ashtray then? Fine, maybe it wasn't on the day of the murder. I might have seen the day before. Or I might have been the day before. But it's not that big of an issue. Nope, you had to have been there the day of the murder. You weren't a customer. You were the real murderer. Huh? The only people who could have prints on the murder weapon were those who visited the day of the murder. How did you come to that conclusion? And now for the coup de grace. I just need something to prove when the prints on the murder weapon were made. Let's see, would that be... let's see... It would be the florist testimony, right? The ashtrays here are cleaned every day, but your prints were still on the murder weapon. That means you had to have been there on the day of the murder. But the day of the murder, a customer dropped the ashtray, chipping it. Yuichi Akechi saw the chipped ashtray and instead of washing it, decided to throw it out. Since you couldn't have come to the cafe as a customer that day, there's only one time you could have left your prints on the ashtray. You did it after Akechi dropped the ashtray in the locker room when he witnessed Usami cheating on him with Oda. Sometime after Akechi left, and before Kinoshita came to check up on him, you entered the locker room and murdered Oda. Then, you put on Imagawa's uniform and went out the back. Isn't that right? Yuko-san, is what Kiryu-san says true? It'll only get worse if you stay quiet. Shut up! I told you I didn't do it! I give up. Yuko, I'm putting an end to this. What? Do you know something, Kinoshita-san? I knew you came to the cafe that day, Yuko. What? How? I could smell you. It was very faint, but I could smell your perfume all around the crime scene. No way. Why didn't you say this earlier? I've been in love with Yuko ever since we worked together. That's why I knew the scent of her perfume the minute I smelled it. Sometime after the murder, I happened to run into her again. Eventually, we started dating. One day, I brought up the murder and her face went white. She felt quiet and avoided commenting on anything. That's when I was sure Yuko had been there the day of the crime. Well, I'll be. But I still didn't know exactly what that meant. Or, I should say, I didn't want to know what that meant. When I found out Kiryu-san was looking into that old crime, I decided to keep it all a secret. But now, Yuichi Akechi has suffered 6 years for a crime he didn't commit, all because I didn't say anything. It's all my fault. If I had just spoken up, none of this would have happened. Gee, Kinoshita-san.
さあ、もう言い逃れはできないぜ。
優子さん、今一度尋ねます。あなたが小田さんを殺したんですか？
そうよ。私がやったのよ。
Will you give a statement that Yuichi Akechi is innocent? Yes. Akechi-san had nothing to do with the murder. Yuko, how could you have done such a thing? Was it really just because Oda-san was cheating? Of course that's what it was about. He said he was going to marry me.
事件が起こった日、あの日は彼の小田さんの誕生日だった。だから私は彼を驚かそうと思ってプレゼントを持ってお店に向かったの。もうお店も閉まっている時刻だったから裏口から入ってロッカールームに向かったわ。でもそこで見たのは他の女と浮気してる彼の姿だった。私はとっさに身を引いて隠れた。落ち着いて目の前で何が起きてるのか理解しようと努めたわ。そのすぐ後に明智さんがやってきた。明智さんはロッカールームの中を覗いて小田さんと宇佐美さんの浮気現場を目撃すると手に持っていた灰皿を落とし小田さんに掴みかかっていったわ。言い争うような声が聞こえた後すぐに宇佐美さんがロッカールームから出てきて裏口から店の外へ出て行ったわ。すぐに明智さんも宇佐美さんの後を追って店の外へ出て行ってしまった。明智さんと宇佐美さんが出て行った後私はロッカールームの中へ入っていった。小田さんは私の姿を見てすごいびっくりしたみたいだったけど浮気がバレたことが分かると開き直って別れ話を切り出してきたわ。宇佐美と一緒になるつもりだから別れてくれってね。その言葉を聞いた途端完全に頭に血が上っちゃって気がついたら近くに落ちてた灰皿で小田さんを殴っていたわ。それからは桐生さんが言った通りよ。私はロッカーにあった制服に着替えてわざと裏口の前で誰かが来るのを待っていた。少しして誰かが客席の方からやってきたから顔を見られないようにして裏口から出て行った。それで部外者の自分には絶対に疑いがかからないだろうって思ったわ。
Several years passed. I ran into Kinoshita-san and we eventually got married. I started selling things as a hobby and it soon turned into a business. Before I knew it, it grew into a large company. It's been 6 years since that day, and my life's been going so well. I can't believe the truth came out now of all times. Yuko-san. Did you ever think what it felt like for Akechi-san to bear these false charges? What it felt like to be knocked down to rock bottom and have his freedom stolen from him these past 6 years? And think what would have happened if we hadn't revealed the truth just now. How many more years would he have suffered? Only the person who took Akechi-san's freedom away can give it back. You need to turn yourself in. Testify in front of a court and pay for your crimes. Can I escort you to the station? Yes. Well, at least she's going to atone. Yuko! I'll be right here waiting for you when you get back. Masaru. Thank you. Extra, extra! Guilty criminal of 6-year-old murder turns herself in. The man originally accused of the crime now stands to be acquitted at a new trial. I was wrong about the media. I thought you just went from one person to the next looking for gossip. I didn't think you cared about the people in your articles. I figured you just forgot about them the second they left your pages. But you've been worrying about my brother this whole time. You even proved his innocence. There are decent people in the media. Thank you so much for helping him. Nozomi-san. I also have to apologize for the way I treated you. I want to give you a reward for helping me get a retrial for my brother. You don't owe me anything. As much as I hate to admit it, I didn't do anything on this one. Proving your brother's innocence was all the work of Kiryu-san here. I certainly don't deserve any reward from you. What are you talking about? You did what a real journalist is supposed to do. What do you mean? Sure, you wrote an article saying Akechi was a murderer, but now you've written an article clearing his name. Isn't that the way a real journalist is supposed to resolve things? Sure, but I won't let this be the end of it. I'll continue to follow the truth until the day I put down my pen. That's my duty as a reporter. And I'll be cheering you on. How sweet. What a great sub-story. That took a freaking hour! 200,000 yen though, and 20 experience points. That is about as top as it gets, man. About as top as it gets. My voice is ragged. I had no real time to drink water, so I need a long break. Thanks so much for watching this episode of my Yakuza 3 Remastered Let's Play. My name's DuffKing56. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out and bye-bye.